Hi guys and welcome back to a new video. In today's video I will be talking about patch 10.1.5 that will be probably released around July, and I want to explain how exactly you will be able to make some gold during this new patch. Before I start the video, keep in mind that all the information that we have so far is from the PTR, and so some things might change in the future and before the official launch of this new patch. Also, I'm making this video because I really think this patch is going to be extremely good for gold making and gold farming, and that you should definitely start maybe thinking of some ways you want to make some gold during this patch, and just start thinking of a strategy overall to then be ready when it will launch and to really make a lot of gold during the first few days and first few weeks of this new patch. So with patch 10.1.5, we're getting a lot of new content, and you will be able to make a lot of gold with all these different contents. The first category of items I really want to talk about are all the new ancient recipes and plants that you will be able to get through naxxramas, and also all the different crafted items that you will then be able to sell on the auction house for a lot of gold. So as you can see, for instance, if you take blacksmithing, and again, I would highly recommend you to have blacksmithing because this is by far the best. As you can see, this is the one that will get, again, the most of these new ancient recipes and plants. So you will be able to craft a lot of these old school items from naxxramas, including some that were previously removed from the game. So for instance, you have this shield right here and many more. And as you can imagine, it means that people will be able to make a lot of gold just by crafting all these different items, or also selling all the different BOE recipes and plants, because again, very similar to what happened in patch 10.0.7 with Zul'Gurub, most of these new plants and recipes will be BOE, and so you will be able to actually sell them on the auction house directly. So I think this is definitely going to be the most interesting part and definitely the best way to make some gold. But of course, it really depends on which realm you're playing on and on what you want to do. I would say that especially during the first few days, all these different plants and recipes are going to sell for a lot of gold. And then, of course, all the different items you can craft will also probably sell for a lot. Again, you really want to target only the ones that are going to be really interesting, because many of them are not really going to be that profitable. For instance, you take this type of items, they're pretty easy to get on their own right now in Dragonflight. So that's why I don't think they will really sell for a lot. But then, for instance, if you start crafting this type of appearances right here, as you can see, all these previous sets that have been removed from the game since Wrath of the Lich King, trust me, you will be able to make a lot of gold. As you can see, for instance, the plate one is definitely going to make a lot of people millions and millions of gold. But again, you want to be amongst the first people crafting and selling all these different armor pieces. Also, one thing that is important to note is the fact that all the different plants and recipes and everything to craft these different armor sets will be binds when picked up. So it means that you will need to actually farm them with your character, and then you will need to start crafting these items. So you won't be able to buy all these plants and recipes for these specific armor pieces from the auction house. This is something that is very important for you to keep in mind, because for instance, if you're planning to doing it and you're in the same situation as me with your main character that has blacksmithing and that is level only 10, then you need to at least level up a little bit this character, so you will be able to farm all the different content necessary in order to get these plants and recipes. But we have all the new cosmetic items and also the new time rift events. So with patch 10.1.5, we will be able to do a new type of events, and these are called the time rifts. And basically you will be able to do different type of scenarios and everything. And through these different time rift events, you will be able to get some new cosmetic sets for each of the different categories of armors. As you can see, they will have 2 of them. And these are all BOE items. So it means that you will then be able to actually sell them on the auction house. Maybe again, it will change, but so far, these are BOEs. So definitely it will probably be like a pretty good way to make some gold. Again, it's not guaranteed that it will remain BOE, and also I'm not sure how easy it will actually be to get these different type of armor pieces. But anyway, if you are amongst the first people selling them on the auction house, probably you will still be able to make some decent amount of gold. So keep that in mind and really try to do some of these time rifts events as soon as possible to maybe get some of these nice looking armor pieces and to then sell them on the auction house for quite a lot of gold. Then, of course, as you can imagine, we will also get a lot of new cloaks and all these other cosmetics. And there is one item in particular that I think is going to be the king of all the different cosmetic items in patch 10.1.5. And this is this one right here. So as you can see, this is just a cosmetic headpiece that you can craft with tailoring. And as you can see, then you will be able to get this really cool appearance from naxxramas on all your different characters. Even as you can see, if you're playing on a warrior, you will still be able to equip it. So I am sure that this one is going to be really, really profitable. Again, it's not yet known how you will be able to get the recipe. Probably it's going to be something very similar to the square holders that's dropped from Zul'Farrak in patch 10.0.7. But again, I'll make sure to cover that as soon as we have more information, because I think this is one of the items that you should really focus on, because this is a cosmetic. Again, anyone can use it and it actually looks really nice. So definitely something that is worth keeping an eye on, and hopefully you will be able to make a lot of gold with this new headpiece right here. Then we also have all these different items that, as you can see, you will be able to use to basically create a new piece of armor that are specific to each of the different categories of armor. And then, as you can see, you will receive these, for instance, dented raiders folders, and it will reveal a random shoulder slot item from Kalimdor or the Easter Kingdoms. And again, I am not sure what exactly these will be and what type of armors you will be able to get when doing that. Maybe this is also how you will actually get the cosmetic items from the Time Rift event. But again, we really don't have a lot of information about these different items. I just know that, as you can see, these ones will be BOEs. Maybe again, this is something that will change. But if that remains the same, then it means that you will then actually be able to sell these on the auction house. And then, of course, if the actual armor pieces that you will get when using these will be BOE, then you will also be able to make a lot of gold just like that. I have also a theory that maybe they will try to reintroduce all the different armor pieces from the Wrath of the Lich King pre-launch event. And for instance, the plate one is really popular, and that would be really cool. But again, it's really not guaranteed. And on the PTR, there is no information whatsoever that these will be back into the game. This is still one of the theory that I think could work. But again, I will just need to wait a little bit longer to know exactly what will be these different armor pieces and how well they will be for gold making. Then after that, of course, you will have all the different materials needed in order to craft all these new items. Again, here, really be cautious, because with the region-wide auction house, unfortunately, a lot of these markets are going to crash extremely fast. And as most of these items are probably things that you can already farm right now in the game, I'm not sure whether it's really going to be that big of a gold making opportunity or not. Maybe during the first few hours when there's going to have a big boom and everyone is going to start crafting these items, if you try to flip some of these markets and reset the prices and everything, you might be able to make some gold. But again, it's risky and you never know how it can evolve. So this is something that will be interesting to have a look at. But again, I don't think it's going to be the main way to make some gold with this new patch. Finally, as you can see, we will also be getting a few more pets. Again, I'm not sure how you will exactly be able to get these pets, and I'm not sure whether you will be able to actually cage them and then trade them and sell them on the auction house. But still, this is something that is important to keep in mind, especially during the first few days. All these pets will probably sell for a lot of gold, so that's always something you want to keep an eye on. And if you manage to get some, then you can definitely make quite a lot of gold during the first few days or maybe the first few weeks. So that's pretty much it for today's video. I'm sure there are more things that we will soon discover, and so this list is probably still incomplete. But so far, from all the data we received from the PTR and what I've been able to find, these are really the main categories of items you should focus on when patch 10.1.5 will be released, and hopefully you will be able to make a lot of gold with all these new items. Again, I really want to insist on the fact that if you want to make some gold with all these new items, you want to be amongst the first people farming and crafting all these new items, because if you wait even just 1 or 2 weeks after the launch of the patch, it will be too late, and probably most of these markets will have completely crashed and you won't be able to really make a lot of gold with all these new items. So if you are interested, really just keep an eye on all this new information that we're receiving from patch 10.1.5. Make sure that, for instance, all your different tailors, blacksmither, and everything have all the different levels from classic professions maxed up, and also that you just level up these different characters a little bit, so you're probably like around level 30, 40 at least, and then you will be able to farm this content, and that's how you will probably be able to make a lot of gold in patch 10.1.5. I will be back very soon with more guides and more videos, and in the meantime, I wish you all a great Sunday. Bye!